Hello, people of the interwebs. Welcome to Movie Breakdown. This is episode 4. I'm Zack and Jacob.
I'm Jacob.
It's good being here with you tonight, Jacob.
And you
for
as
the
well.
4th time in a row. It's been fun. Today we're talking about a small budget film from 2009. Not sure if you've heard of it.
I don't know.
It's called Avatar. It's directed by James Cameron, a history director, and it only grossed $2.78 billion at the box office.
That's nothing.
Chump change. And it's only the world's highest grossing film still to this day. It stars Sam Worthington, Zoe Saldana, Sigourney Weaver, Stephen Lang, and Michelle Rodriguez. And, it's a nice cast they've got there. They've got some big players like Sigourney Weaver. I know she's a big mainstay in science fiction. Stephen Lang really made a name for himself in this film, as did Sam Worthington.
Yeah.
And Zoe Saldana, that's just one of, I'd say, a few good franchises she's a part of.
She's done pretty well in the science fiction world.
So, from here on out, we're going to talk spoilers. So the story is basically very simple, and you like to compare it to another film.
It is Pocahontas with extra machine guns.
There you go. Futuristic Pocahontas. So humans basically colonize another world. They don't really colonize it. It's more like a mining world. They mine this rock called unobtainium. It's very, very good to sell back on Earth. So they mine it, and the local indigenous species disagree with that, and they clash. And Sam Worthington's character, Jake Sully, replaces his twin brother on a mission to basically become an avatar, get in the body of the indigenous species, and then kind of learn their ways and use that to the humans' advantage. So he ends up getting a change of heart and sides with the native species against the humans, much like in Pocahontas.
Good job, John Smith.
So that's essentially the plot. It's very simple, but Avatar wasn't really known for the plot. It was more for the visuals. But what were your first impressions of this movie?
Plot-wise, like I always say, I walked out of the movie saying it was Pocahontas, but it was beautiful. Especially for the time, and even still now, it's gorgeous. It's fun to watch.
I especially love when it's at night. It's nice during the day, but when they're running through the jungle at night and everything, like every step they take, something lights up. Everything they touch, it lights. It's I think you said that it's like if you took everything under the water, deep in the deep ocean, where everything it's kind of lights up.
That's how like all the floral and landscaping things, everything looks like it would come out of the ocean or something.
It's really a visual. It's visual candy. Like every single plant and animal, it's just fun to look at. Really.
Even the spinning disc lizard thing, the thing's adorable.
Little helicopter Black Hawk Down lizard. So yeah, it's bare bones plot, but I think this movie is so visually impressive that you can forgive that. And really that leads us into the next topic is visuals. And I mean, what else can you say? It grossed $2.78 billion for a reason. It's because these visuals, there's been nothing like it before. I think you could argue that not since Star Wars has a movie
anything
had such
been
an impact.
so revolutionary and new. And this was like the first time you would see major motion capture.
Yeah.
And just straight into high quality video right there.
Because they had, like, motion capture had been done before. I know that a couple notable movies of the Lord of the Rings trilogy with Gollum and King Kong, the Peter Jackson King Kong. They dabbled in motion capture, but this was the first one where it's like predominantly motion capture, where there are main characters who are in every shot who are motion capture. And I've got to say, it doesn't look as impressive as it did in 2009, obviously. There are a couple shots specifically at the beginning where you're like, that looks a little iffy. But for the most part, by the end of the movie, I don't know if I was used to it or if it was genuinely better, but it looked great. I thought it looked great.
I think they showed you a little less on screen later in the end of the movie. They didn't show you as much of the wild faunas or florals, and so you're like, oh, they can focus more on the Na'vi, and it looks better.
Because when they were flying around at the end, the climactic battle, and they'd get like the close-ups of Jake Sully or Neytiri, they looked great. Like you could barely tell that they were CGI. They got the details on the face all chiseled and whatnot, and it looked good. I thought it looked good. So I think the visuals are not overrated. I think they're well deserved the praise that they got even today, and I'm excited to see what they do with the sequels.
They're coming soon.
Yeah,
Finally.
a couple years. It's been a decade.
I remember rumors leaving the theater in 2009.
And 10 years later, it'll be 11 years actually. 2020 is when the second one comes out. We'll talk about the sequels in a little bit. But now we're going to move on to the best performance. Mm-hmm. Who would you say, out of all the actors, performed best in this film?
I like Sam Worthington the best.
Really?
I think he brings a good sort of, probably humanity to a role that needs to turn alien. And I like that. There's scenes, especially when he does the little vlog posts to himself. I love those scenes, and he just does really well in those for me.
I am going to give it to Stephen Lang, a.k.a. Colonel Quaritch. He plays an interesting villain. He's kind of like a gun-ho military man, but he's so cool. He's a badass. I mean, the guy has 3 scars on his face, and you're just like, oh man, that guy's seen some stuff. And I just like his dialogue is funny and not horrifying, but intimidating.
Yeah.
And I just think he's an interesting character. Kind of sad that he died in the movie.
You want him to come back?
I want him to come back. I heard a rumor that he was coming back. I don't know how they would do that, but maybe he has a twin. So now on the other side of the coin, worst performances. I'm gonna disagree with you. I think Sam Worthington does the worst job, mostly because his accent. He's Australian in real life, and man, that thing comes through at least 20 or 30 times in the movie. You can hear it. It sounds like an Australian doing an American accent.
There's one specific yell when I was like, "You did not nail that accent, sir."
Aussie. Oi. But other than that, I wouldn't say he does bad. Yeah. I just didn't. That kind of pulled me out of the movie several times, and I don't find his character that interesting. I don't really care about him. I obviously root for him, but I don't love him. I'm not completely sold on the character of Jake Sully. He's just kind of a John Smith.
Your kind of standard, almost blank canvas-ish character that you know what you get.
You don't get much character development beyond the side flipping that he does. Yeah. But I don't think it hurts the film.
Yeah.
I think it at best it just doesn't help it. It doesn't hurt it. Yeah.
On my end, I think worst performance unfortunately goes down to Sigourney Weaver. I don't think it's really her fault, but there's a lot of scenes, especially when she's in her avatar, where her voiceover or motion capture, however they did it, it doesn't really suit the tone of what's on screen. So like her character will have a bit more pep when it doesn't need to. And I think that's probably closer to a directorial not covering all the different situations and the voices. I think that's closer to what's happening there.
Speaking of directorial, let's move on to James Cameron.
The man himself.
So James Cameron, for whatever reason, this guy has directed several massive movies. Titanic, I think previously was the record holder for biggest box office
technically,
success.
I think, still based on interest, is still the highest grossing.
Yeah. So his last 2 major films, Avatar and Titanic, man, what a 1-2 punch. He everything he touches turns to gold, it seems. Before that, he was involved in Terminator and Aliens, the second Alien movie, and both were solid films. I think I like Aliens 2 a lot. Terminator is solid, but
Terminator 2 is great.
Yeah, Terminator 2. Yeah, but did he direct that one? I'm not sure.
Don't quote me.
I'm sorry. I don't know all the answers, but doesn't matter because he had a hand in building that universe. So he seems like he knows how to build a universe, a science fiction universe, because he's done it a few times.
And he's also a man who goes after science himself.
Yeah.
He's deep down in the Marianas Trench.
I think that's really cool.
Yeah.
I respect him for that. Not every director will do such a thing.
He does like challenges in real life, and some of his biggest grossing films are ridiculously meticulous challenges. Like, can you imagine? I still can't get over the process of filming Titanic.
I know.
That's disturbing to me, that they would sink an entire ship, or like build a ship to sink.
Expensive, like money literally burning. I can't help but be impressed. I mean, he's done this time and time again. I'm sure he'll do it again with Avatar 2. I just, hands together for James Cameron. I mean, you gotta hand it to the guy. So it's that time again, JT.
It is.
For ya or nine. Show those kind people the cards.
Yeah.
If we like it,
9.
we hold up ya. If we don't like it, we hold up 9. We're gonna go through some elements of the film, starting with plot. I'm gonna give it a 9. I mean, it's
Also
not
a 9.
It's not bad. It just doesn't. It's not unique.
Mm-hmm.
It's a simple plot.
We've seen it before in a way.
Yeah, I think.
There's even the character Kokum from Pocahontas. There's also that character in this movie, and he also dies.
It's very copy paste.
Yeah.
So yeah. Next is the score, the film score. I actually enjoy it. It closely resembles Troy, at least the main theme, but I think it's got some kind of magnificent element to it. I think it goes well with the nice visuals.
I also say, yeah, I think there's really brilliant moments with the score for probably like any impactful moment on screen. There's good music behind it.
Yeah, definitely helps you feel. And the next one is cinematography. This might get lost in the shuffle of all the CGI and the motion capture, but I think they had a solid film cinematography wise.
Agreed.
I'm gonna give it a yeah. There are a lot of beautifully composed shots, nice close-ups, just beautiful. Like the color, the lighting, everything.
I think color is probably my favorite one out of all of it.
Yeah.
Especially the animals and the plants.
Oh yeah. So that's a win for them. And next, acting overall throughout the film. For being motion capture, I will give it a yes.
Yes.
I think a solid job by them. Really revolutionary job.
Yep. I don't think anybody did particularly bad. Nothing was like, oh, that was terrible.
Yeah, nothing took you out of the movie so much except for Jake Sully's Australian accent that would come out every now and then. But solid job by the cast.
Yep.
I know I've said that several times, but neither good, neither amazing, nor terrible.
Yeah.
It got the job done. So specifically the character of Jake Sully, I'm gonna give him a 9. I think they could have made him more interesting. I do like the whole backstory of him being a cripple and how that contributes to his motivations in the story. But
I'm gonna go with yeah, mostly because I do enjoy me some John Smith characters, and you don't always have to develop a character beyond what he's doing in the plot. Sometimes it's weak, but I did enjoy it enough that he did good. And I really did enjoy the scenes where he first gets into the Avatar and he's like, screw this, I'm running.
Yeah.
I have legs again.
I agree. I feel like that's what a person who'd been crippled would do, especially if they once had the ability to walk. They would miss that, and I think he acts as a cripple would have, and it's just a fun scene. Like, you can't help but smile when you watch that. And then next is Neytiri, Zoe Saldana's character. She gets a big yeah. I think she does a fantastic job because she's just CGI and motion capture. Sam Worthington, he's got both sides of the coin. He plays his real self when he plays the Avatar, but Neytiri is all indigenous species. What are they called? The Navi?
Navi.
The Navi, and she's a Navi the whole film, and she nails it.
She's not just like somebody playing like I don't know, like a Native American or something.
Yeah.
She actually does a really good job of making it a different character than what we think would be a human character.
You pick up a lot of the culture and their behavior from her. She's always like hissing, and she mutters to herself, and she is really nuanced performance by Zoe Saldana. I think her best performance.
Yeah.
I think better than Star Trek, better than Guardians of the Galaxy, and I said this before, but I can't wait to see what she does in the next one. I think in terms of motion capture, she does the best by far.
Yeah.
And next is Quaritch, Colonel Quaritch. Bad guy. I think he plays a perfect villain for this movie. Prejudiced. These are savages. We've got to kill them. Military man. Really, just a perfect villain for this movie.
He goes from good moments of badass where he's like busting out into the toxic air and just shooting at people without breathing, to like sort of subtle, more aggressive points where he's like, I'll gas them out first. They'll be humane. In a way, and I'm like
he knows how to manipulate his superior officers, or the people funding his mission, I guess. I think the one thing I could say is that I wish that he had some kind of sympathetic element to him so that we could empathize with him. But it's okay because you watch him and you can tell Stephen Lane's having a blast playing this guy.
And he's not the least sympathetic character in this.
No,
his boss is a lot worse.
His boss is a jerk. He's just only sees dollar signs. But yeah, I love the character. Sad he dies, like I said,
Yep.
but that's life. Next is the big element of the film, motion capture. And we've already discussed this a little bit, but
A little bit of a
yeah. Never been a movie like it before, never been a movie like it since.
Yep.
Really set the standard for motion capture. When movies use motion capture, they look at Avatar and they think, how can we do this half as good as Avatar did? Honestly.
I think we have this movie to thank for Rocket Raccoon, so I'm very grateful.
Oh yeah. And I don't like the Hobbit trilogy, but Gollum looks so much better.
Oh my gosh.
So much better than he did in Lord of the Rings. And he looked good in Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
But he looked so much
They
better.
set it up.
Yeah. So thank you, Avatar, for giving us one good thing from the Hobbit trilogy. And that was Ya or Nine.
All aircraft, weapons free, weapons free. Break right, come around. Light him up! Break formation, engage all hostiles.
All right, we're back to wrap this thing up. We talked about this before, but there are some sequels incoming. I believe
Oh, yeah.
3 more. They're making. I think they're going to Avatar 4 or Avatar 5
It's
actually.
gonna be interesting. And I think Sam Worthington's in all of them. He's
That's what they
scheduled to
say. They have him listed as being in all of them. I don't know what they can possibly do for like
Yeah.
4 more sequels. I understand maybe 2 more. I don't even understand 2 more. 2, like 1 more? Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see where they can go with that one. After that, who knows?
The rumors back in the day of many, many years ago were that they were going to do like kind of focused sequels on humanity fighting against the specific tribes that helped them in the war.
Right.
So like the war horses and then the eastern Banshee tribes. So that could be interesting. Some sort of... It'd be a very different movie than just like plains and prairies compared to...
Yeah, the aesthetics. It would. I mean, they've got a rich world that they can really, no pun
They
intended.
can kind of get away with doing anything they want. Like they can
Yeah.
just build a snow world somewhere as long as it has trees. It makes sense. In
They
the plot.
could. They could. I mean, it's an entire planet. Look at all the stories
Yeah.
we've got here on Earth. They could. They have stuff to work with. Obviously, I feel like humanity's gonna come back and
Yeah.
try to. After getting punched in the mouth, they're gonna try to send more forces.
What would America do in that situation?
Wipe them all out. So that's what we're probably gonna see in the next one. They're gonna want to mine that planet dry, just like they did Earth, and that should be cool. It's a little, I guess you could say it's a little redundant. It'll just be
It could
another.
end up being that. If there's nothing unique, like, I don't know, another alien race or something, just something to spice it.
They've got to do it. They've got to do it well. Otherwise,
Yeah.
it's gonna flop. But it's James Cameron. James Cameron has proven that he's got a good track record. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. I'll go see these movies, and I hope they're good because I enjoyed this one a good amount.
I think the one thing I hope is that they don't copy paste Pocahontas 2, because
I've never seen that movie.
then Neytiri goes to Earth and marries somebody else, and that's just not fun.
Oh, tragic. Sorry, John Smith. I did not know that. You spoiled
Yeah.
that movie for me.
We said spoiler warning.
Not for Pocahontas too. All right. Well, after that startling revelation, what would you give this movie on a scale from, hey, this planet's not worth mining, to, oh my God, unobtainium everywhere. We've got to mine this thing dry.
I mean, I do enjoy me some unobtainium. I think I'm floating in the range of probably 7.5. I like this movie a lot. I don't think I could rewatch it within like the next couple months. I think it's a little plot dry for that, but it's beautiful and it's a good movie to watch, especially if you love film.
Yeah, I agree. last time I've seen this movie, probably a couple years ago, a few years ago, and I didn't really miss it. Like you said, the plot is very simple. It's one of the more simple plots. It's not convoluted, but it's not overly intriguing. I would give this movie about a 6.5. I like it. I don't love it, and it's an occasional watch for me. So yeah, that's our grades.
Sounds like we pretty much get
in
the same area.
ballpark. Yeah. Next week.
Yes.
Next week we're gonna do an interesting
A
film.
little fun movie.
Yeah, and it's gonna be La La Land. Came out a couple years ago, 2016,
Yeah.
I believe. Stars Jake Gyllenhaal. It does
It's,
not star Jake Gyllenhaal.
That is not correct.
I always get Ryan Gosling and Jake Gyllenhaal confused.
Ryan Gosling and Emma Stone, and it totally won an Oscar. No, it didn't.
I'm gonna go fall on my sword. So yeah, if you want to watch a good movie with Jake Gyllenhaal in it, don't watch La La Land because he's not in it. I'm just an idiot. So we'll be doing La La Land, and we're gonna have special guest Emily Forshin, our producer.
The great production assistant.
Yeah.
She's multi-talented.
Yeah, very talented woman. She's gonna be here with us talking La La Land, a movie she adores, and a movie I was skeptical about.
Yep.
But I came around. I enjoyed the movie a lot. So that's what we're going to be doing next week. If you'd like to join us, then I'll see you next week.
Please do.
As for today, though, that's it for Avatar. It's been nice being
a
here.
good time. Thank you.
One whole month. One whole
one whole
month of movie
Let's
breakdown.
keep it going.
Here's to another month. So if you liked the show, let us know. Leave a comment. Leave a like. I'm
Don't be
not
shy.
gonna ask you to subscribe. I have
Yeah.
honor. Not that much, but I have enough to not ask you to subscribe.
That honor is close to fading.
Yeah. So I'm Zach Cantrell.
I'm Jacob.
Just Jacob. We
Thank
will
you.
see you, hopefully,
In the
maybe,
future.
possibly, next week. Have a good night or morning or afternoon, folks.
Bye.
Bye.